The Galactic Council sits in their crystal towers on Prime Station, a massive space structure floating in neutral space. For thousands of years, they have ruled over 847 different alien species. The Council consists of 5 major races: the tall, blue-skinned Altans, who control trade; the insect-like Vex, who handle military matters; the floating gas beings called Neph, who manage diplomacy; the rock-like Tor, who oversee mining; and the plant-based Yil, who control food production. Today, they face a problem. A new species has been discovered on the edge of the galaxy, humans from a small blue planet called Earth. These humans have been quietly building ships, exploring nearby systems, and setting up colonies without asking permission from the Council. Elder Allen of the Altans speaks first. These creatures call themselves humans. They have spread to 12 systems already. They mine asteroids, build cities on dead worlds, and trade with each other. But they never asked us for permission. Commander Vix of the Vex clicks his mandibles. My scouts report they have weapons, strange ones. They use explosives that burn hot and projectiles that move faster than plasma bolts. Their ships are made of thick metal, not energy shields. The Neth representative, a floating cloud named Dex, pulses with concern. They refuse our communication attempts. When we sent the standard greeting, "Submit to Council rule for the good," of all, they sent back a single word: no. Elder Rock of the Tor pounds his stone fist. In 3,000 years, no species has ever refused. Every race bows to the Council when they reach the stars. It is the natural order. The Yil speaker, a walking tree called Nell, rustles her leaves. Perhaps we should send the enforcement fleet. A show of power will make them understand their place. The Council agrees. They have done this many times before. A new species discovers space travel. The Council appears with a vast fleet. The species sees they are outmatched, and they submit. The new species then gets a small role in the galaxy, usually mining some dangerous asteroid field or farming on hostile worlds. But Admiral Vix has concerns. Their ships are different. They don't use the standard fusion drives we all share. They burn chemical fuels, but somehow they're almost as fast as our ships. And they build them thick, like metal fortresses. Impossible, scoffs Elder Allen. Our technology comes from the Builders, the ancient race that created the Council. No primitive species can match Builder tech. The Council sends their demands to Earth. Submit to Galactic Council authority. Accept your assigned role as asteroid miners in the dead zone. Send representatives to kneel before the Council within 30 rotations. The human response arrives 3 days later. It's not what they expected, Captain Jake Smith of the Earth. Defense Force stands in the communication chamber of humanity's first space station, Unity Base. Behind him stand General Maria Santos and Admiral Tom Lee. The message they're about to send will change everything. To the so-called Galactic Council, Jake begins, his voice steady and cold. Humanity has reviewed your demands. Our response is simple. We refuse. We didn't crawl out of our gravity well, survive ice ages, plagues, and world wars just to bow to aliens who think they own the galaxy. General Santos steps forward. You claim to rule 847 species. That tells us everything we need to know about you. You're not leaders, you're slavers. And humanity has a long history of dealing with slavers. Admiral Lee's voice carries the weight of Earth's combined fleets. We know you're watching our systems. We know you think we're primitives playing with crude rockets. You're about to learn why that's a mistake. Humanity doesn't ask permission to exist. We don't beg for scraps from your table. We take what we need, and we hold what we take. Jake delivers the final words. You have one chance. Leave our space. Never return. Find some other species to bully. Because if you come for us, if you try to force us into chains, you won't be fighting scared farmers or peaceful traders. You'll be fighting humanity. And we've been fighting each other for 10,000 years. We're very good at it. The transmission ends. On Prime Station, the Council sits in shocked silence. In 3,000 years, no one has ever spoken to them this way. No species has ever threatened them. Elder Allen's blue skin darkens with rage. Primitives, how dare they? Commander Vix's compound eyes gleam. They want war? We'll give them war. Ready the enforcement fleet. But deep in his mind, something bothers him. The human ships, their strange weapons, the confidence in their voices. What if these humans are different? The galaxy is about to find out. The Galactic Council's enforcement. Fleet is a sight that has broken the will of countless species. 500 ships of various sizes surround the human colony world of New Texas, a dusty planet where humans mine rare metals and grow food in underground farms. The fleet's flagship, Council's Will, stretches 5 kilometers long and bristles. With energy weapons that can crack continents, Admiral Vix commands from the bridge, surrounded by holographic displays showing the human settlement below. Standard protocol, he orders. Destroy one city to show our power. They always surrender after that. But as the fleet moves into attack formation, something unexpected happens. The human colony doesn't try to hide. Instead, every mining platform, cargo hauler, and transport ship turns to face the Council fleet. There are maybe 50 human vessels total, tiny compared to the Council's mighty armada. Sir, reports Navigation Officer Kex, the humans are singing? Through the communication channels, human voices ring out in harmony. It's an old Earth song called Battle Hymn. The words speak of terrible swift swords and righteous anger. To the aliens, it sounds like a death chant. Captain Lisa Roberts commands the human defense from her ship, the Texas Ranger. It's a converted mining vessel, thick armor plating over a civilian hull, weapons bolted on wherever they fit. Nothing like the sleek Council warships. All ships, this is Roberts, she broadcasts to her tiny fleet. Remember what Admiral Lee told us. They've been bullying farmers and shopkeepers for 3,000 years. They've forgotten how to fight real soldiers. The Council fleet opens fire first. Brilliant energy beams lance out, designed to slice through standard starship armor like paper. They strike the human ships and ... Impossible, gasps Officer Kex. Their ships are still intact. The human vessels are damaged, scarred by the energy weapons, but they don't break apart. They're thick metal hulls, designed to survive asteroid impacts and radiation storms, absorb punishment that would vaporize Council ships. Now it's humanity's turn. The human ships don't use energy weapons. Instead, they fire solid projectiles. Chunks of dense metal accelerated to incredible speeds by magnetic rails. The Council's energy shields, designed to stop plasma beams and particle weapons, do nothing against simple kinetic force. The first railgun slug punches through the shield of a Council destroyer and keeps going, tearing through the ship from nose to tail. The second destroyer tries to dodge, but the human gunners have been hitting moving asteroids for years. The ship dies in a shower of sparks and atmosphere. Admiral Vix watches in growing horror as his neat formations dissolve into chaos. Council. Ships, graceful and deadly, against conventional foes, find themselves outgunned by what look like flying metal boxes. How are they so accurate? He demands. The answer is simple but terrifying. Humans have been fighting each other across vast distances for generations. Their weapon systems are built by people who understand that in space, missing means dying. Every shot is calculated by computers that have learned from 1,000 Earth battles. But the Council has advantages too. They have more ships, and their energy weapons recharge faster than human railguns can reload. Slowly, the human fleet begins to take losses. Captain Roberts watches the New Mexico die, its hull cracked open by concentrated fire. All ships fall back to the asteroid field. Make them come to us. The human ships retreat toward a nearby cluster of rocks and metal debris. The Council fleet follows, eager to finish the job. That's when the trap springs. Hidden among the asteroids are human mining charges, explosives designed to crack open space rocks. But modified with military expertise, they become something much more dangerous. As the Council ships enter the field, the charges detonate. Not all at once, but in sequence, turning the asteroid field into a maze of flying debris and explosive flashes. Council ships, used to clean energy battles, find themselves dodging chunks of rock moving at bullet speeds. Fall back. Admiral Vic's orders. Reform at safe distance. But the humans don't let them go easily. Using the asteroids as cover, human ships dart in and out, taking shots at damaged Council vessels. They fight like pirates, like guerrillas, like nothing the Council has ever faced. When the battle finally ends, Admiral Vic stares at his casualty reports in disbelief. 50 human ships against 500 Council vessels, and the humans took out nearly 100 of his fleet before withdrawing deeper into their territory. Send a message to Prime Station, he orders quietly. Tell them we need reinforcements. Tell them these humans are not like the others. On New Texas, Captain Roberts surveys her battered fleet. Half her ships are gone, but they've bloodied the Council's nose. Phase 1 complete, she reports to Earth. They know we can fight. Now let's show them what we're really capable of. News of the battle at New Texas spreads across the galaxy faster than light itself. In the deep reaches of space, on mining worlds and farming colonies, in the dark spaces between stars, the enslaved species of the Galactic Council hear whispers of something impossible. Someone fought the Council and lived. On the water world of Kepler, the amphibian aqua people pause in their endless labor of harvesting sea plants for the Council. Elder Finn, his scales gray with age, gathers the younger workers around him. Is it true? Asks young Coral. Did someone really fight the great ships? Finn nods slowly. The traders speak of humans. Small creatures from a blue world who use metal weapons and refuse to kneel. For 300 years, the Aqua people have dreamed of freedom. Their world is beautiful, but the Council takes 90% of everything they produce, leaving barely enough to survive. On the volcanic world of Ember, the rock people called. Stone have similar conversations. Their leader, Boulder, remembers the old stories from before the Council came. My grandfather told me we once built ships that could sail between stars. But the Council took them away, said we only needed to dig metals from our fire mountains. The plant-like Yill, ironically one of the Council races, face their own crisis. Many of their kind work in the outer colonies, far from the ruling elites. They see how other species suffer under Council rule. Branch, a young Yill overseer on a cone. Mining World watches the small furry people called Fluff work 8-hour shifts digging rare crystals. Their children are thin, their elders dying young from the toxic dust. This is wrong, Branch tells his friend Leaf. The Council says we bring order, but what we really bring is misery. Careful, Leaf warns. Such words could get us sent to the punishment worlds. But Branch can't stop thinking about the human message, recorded and passed secretly from world to world. We take what we need, and we hold what we take. Meanwhile, at Prime Station, the Council faces the worst crisis. In their 3,000-year rule, the human victory at New Texas wasn't just a military defeat. It was proof that the Council could be beaten. Elder Allen paces the Crystal Council chamber, his blue skin pale with stress. Rebellion is spreading. 17 worlds have stopped. Sending tribute, the Aqua people are hiding their harvests. The stone refused to dig metals. Commander Vix's report makes things worse. My intelligence officers say the humans are not just fighting us. They're talking to other species, teaching them things. What things? Demands Elder Rock. How to make weapons from mining equipment. How to turn farming tools into armor. How to coordinate attacks across multiple star systems. Vix's mandibles click nervously. They're spreading their knowledge freely, asking nothing in return. This terrifies the Council more than any battle. For millennia, they've kept their subjects weak by controlling technology and keeping the species separate. But humans are doing the opposite, sharing everything, building alliances. On Earth, General Santu studies reports from across the galaxy. The Council built their empire on fear and isolation, she tells her staff. Every species thinks they're alone, that resistance is hopeless. We're showing them otherwise. Admiral Lee nods. Our deep space scouts report Council forces are spread thin. They're trying to put down uprisings on 40 different worlds. They can't be strong everywhere. Captain Smith, now promoted to lead humanity's rapid response fleet, grins. Time for Phase 2? Time for Phase 2, Santus confirms. The plan is elegant in its simplicity. Humanity doesn't try to fight the entire Council fleet at once. Instead, they strike fast at isolated Council forces, then disappear before reinforcements arrive. Each victory is broadcast across the galaxy, proof that the Council can be beaten. At the mining world of Iron Ridge, a Council patrol of 10 ships arrives to find the human freighter Liberty Bell unloading weapons and communication equipment to the local rock people. Surrender immediately, broadcasts the patrol leader. Captain Brown of the Liberty Bell laughs. Come and take us. The battle is short and brutal. The human ship is outnumbered, but the rock people have been preparing. Mining charges hidden in the asteroids explode around the Council ships. Improvised railguns, built from mining equipment, and human designs fire from concealed positions on the planet's surface. When the smoke clears, the Council patrol is destroyed and the rock people are free. More importantly, the battle was recorded and transmitted to 100 other worlds. The message is clear. The Council is not invincible. On Prime Station, the Council makes a desperate decision. Send the full fleet, Elder Allen declares. Every ship we have. We end this human infection before it spreads further. That will leave our core worlds undefended, warns Commander Vix. Better to risk everything than lose everything, Allen replies. Humanity wants war? We'll give them the greatest fleet ever assembled. But as the orders go out, none of them realize the truth. Humanity has been counting on exactly this response. The trap is set. The full fleet of the Galactic Council is a sight to humble gods. 3,000 ships of every size and shape, representing the combined military might of 847 species, converge on the Sol system. Energy weapons capable of cracking moons, shields that can deflect starlight, hulls forged from materials that don't exist in nature, all focused on destroying humanity's home. Admiral Vix commands from the Super Dreadnought Final Word, a ship so large it has its own gravity generators. Around him, the bridge bustles with officers from every Council race, all united in their certainty of victory. Human fleet detected, reports Scanner Officer Zill. Approximately 500 ships, holding position near their 4th planet. Elder Allen, personally overseeing the battle, smiles coldly. 500 against 3,000. The odds are even better than I hoped. But something bothers Vix. In his years of fighting, he's learned to trust his instincts. The human formation looks ... wrong. Too neat, too ready. Sir, calls Communications Officer Hex, the humans are broadcasting on all frequencies. Let's hear their surrender, Allen says smugly. Instead, Admiral Lee's voice fills the bridge, calm and confident. Attention Council fleet. You've made a mistake. You thought this was about Earth. You thought this was about humanity. You were wrong. This is about freedom, and today the galaxy chooses. Suddenly, space around the Council fleet erupts with new contacts. Hundreds of ships emerge from behind asteroids, from the shadows of planets, from the dark between worlds. Not just human ships, but vessels of every enslaved species in the galaxy. Aqua people in converted fishing boats fitted with human weapons. Stone people and miners that bristle with railguns. Even Yill rebels in captured council ships, their plant crews ready to strike at their former masters. Impossible, gasps Elder Allen. How did they coordinate this? How did they get here? The answer is humanity's greatest gift to the galaxy, the concept of shared knowledge. While the Council hoarded information, humans taught freely. Communication networks, jump calculations, weapon designs, everything shared among species that had been kept apart for millennia. Captain Smith leads the human assault from the battleship Constitution, humanity's first purpose-built warship. Unlike the converted miners and cargo haulers of earlier battles, this ship was designed from the ground up to kill Council vessels. All ships execute Pattern Alpha, Smith broadcasts. Remember, we're not trying to win a fair fight. We're ending a war. The Pattern Alpha isn't a battle formation. It's an assassination. While the mixed fleet engages the Council's main force, specialized human ships punch straight through to target the command vessels. Their mission: cut off the head and the body dies. The Council fleet, designed for overwhelming weak opponents, finds itself trapped in a nightmare. Swarms of small ships dart between their formations. Too many targets to track. Human tactics, shared with every rebel species, turn the battle into chaos. Dr. Allen watches in growing horror as is perfect. Formations dissolve. How are they coordinating so many different species? They should be fighting each other. The answer comes from Branch, the Yill rebel, now commanding a stolen Council destroyer. His voice cuts across all frequencies. Because we learned something from humans that you never understood. Unity isn't about control. It's about choice. And we choose freedom. But the Council still has advantages. Their ships are individually more powerful, their weapons more advanced. Slowly, they begin to push back. Then humanity reveals its final surprise. From Earth itself, hidden launch sites open to reveal humanity's ultimate weapons. Planet Killer. Missiles, each one carrying the explosive force of small stars. Not targeted at the Council fleet, but at something far more valuable. Admiral Lee to Council Command, comes the broadcast. Your fleet can destroy Earth, but before it does, our missiles will hit Prime Station, your capital, your leaders, your entire civilization. Are you willing to trade your empire for revenge? The bridge of final word falls silent. Everyone knows the missiles are already in flight, too fast to intercept, programmed to detonate if the human fleet is destroyed. Elder Allen stares at the tactical display, showing the missiles streaking toward the Council's home base. There. Bluffing. They have to be. Sir, whispers Officer Zill, long-range sensors confirm. Prime Station's shields are down for maintenance. The missiles will hit in 6 hours. Admiral Vix finally understands. They never intended to win this battle. They intended to end the war. On the Constitution, Captain Smith opens a channel to the entire fleet, both sides. Attention all vessels. The old galaxy is dead. The age of the Council is over. You have one choice. Fight and die defending a system that enslaves billions, or stand down and help us build something better. One by one, Council ships begin to power down their weapons. The rebellion has become a revolution. 6 months after the Battle of Sol, the galaxy is transforming in ways no one could have predicted. The crystal towers of Prime Station, once symbols of council dominance, now house the first Galactic Assembly, a meeting place where every species has an equal voice. Captain Smith, now Admiral of the Alliance Fleet, walks through Unity Station, humanity's gift to the new galaxy. Built from the wreckage of destroyed council ships and powered by technology shared freely among all species, it serves as both symbol and reality of what cooperation can achieve. The changes run deeper than politics. On the water world of Kepler, the Aqua people have built their first starships in 3 centuries. Elder Finn, now a ship captain at an age when his species usually dies in the harvest fields, leads expeditions to map ocean worlds throughout the galaxy. We remember the old songs about sailing between stars, he tells his human advisor, Lieutenant Kate Williams. But we thought they were just dreams. Kate smiles, adjusting the translation device that allows dozens of species to communicate instantly. Dreams are just plans waiting for the right moment. On Ember, the stone people have reclaimed their volcanic forges and now produce some of the finest starship hulls in the galaxy. Boulder, elected as his people's first representative to the Assembly, marvels at how quickly everything has changed. The Council told us we were only good for digging, he says to his friend Admiral Lee during a diplomatic visit. But humans showed us that strength can build as well as break. Lee nods, watching stone engineers work alongside human technicians to design new exploration vessels. Turns out everyone has gifts. The Council just never let anyone share them. The transformation isn't without challenges. Some Council loyalists fled to the galaxy's rim, establishing holdout enclaves that launch raids against Alliance shipping. Former Council races like the Altans struggle with their new role as equals rather than rulers. But the greatest challenge is philosophical. For 3,000 years, the galaxy operated under the principle of domination, the strong ruling the all. Weak, humanity introduced something revolutionary, the idea that strength should protect, not control. General Santos, now Secretary of Defense for the Alliance, addresses this during a session of the Galactic Assembly. Representatives from 847 species listen as she speaks in the simple, direct style that has become humanity's trademark. Some of you ask why humans shared our technology so freely, why we didn't keep our advantages and become the new rulers. The answer is simple. We learned from our own history that empires built on force always fall. But alliances built on mutual benefit can last forever. She gestures to the mixed crew operating the station around them. Look around you. Aqua navigators plotting courses with stone engineers. Yield botanists working with human scientists to terraform dead worlds. Fluff traders using Vex logistics networks to bring prosperity to the outer systems. This isn't human leadership, it's human inspiration. And the inspiration is spreading. Elder branch of the Yield, now serving as the Assemblies. First Secretary of Agriculture adds his voice. The Council's greatest lie was that someone had to be in charge. That order required hierarchy. But we've learned that cooperation creates more order than control ever could. The proof is everywhere. Trade routes that once carried tribute to Prime Station now carry goods freely between worlds. Species that never knew each other existed work together on projects that benefit all. The galaxy's first interstellar universities welcome students from hundreds of worlds. Admiral Vix, granted amnesty in exchange for his service to the new alliance, commands a joint exploration fleet mapping the galaxy's unexplored regions. His mixed crew of former enemies has discovered 17 new habitable worlds in just 6 months. The Council spent 3,000 years conquering the known galaxy, he reports to the Assembly, but we never explored beyond our borders. Now, we're finding entire civilizations we never knew existed, and they're eager to join our alliance. But perhaps the greatest change is in humanity itself. Contact with hundreds of alien cultures has enriched human civilization beyond measure. Earth schools now teach aqua mathematics, stone metallurgy, and yield biological sciences. Human art incorporates visual concepts from species with completely different forms of vision. Captain Jake Smith, the man who first defied the Council, now serves as Earth's ambassador to the Alliance. In his final report to the Assembly, he reflects on the journey that brought them all here. 6 months ago, humanity was alone in the dark, convinced we had to fight for everything we wanted to keep. Today, we're part of something larger than any of us imagined. We didn't set out to free the galaxy. We just refused to be slaves. But freedom, it turns out, is contagious. He pauses, looking out at the representatives of nearly 1,000 species working together. The Council called us primitives. Maybe they were right. We're primitive enough to believe that all people deserve to be free. Primitive enough to think that sharing makes everyone stronger. Primitive enough to choose hope over fear. The galaxy erupted in war when humanity refused to kneel. Now it flourishes because everyone learned to stand.